So I ended up losing some of the footage from the last fishing trip. During the last fishing trip, it was overcast and raining pretty much the entire time, and also my friend was here. Just another beautiful day in Colorado, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be checking out some of the local lakes here in town. It's been raining for the past few days, so a lot of the mountain rivers are overflowing and really muddy right now. We're going to try to plan for another night fishing trip, this time somewhere up in the mountains. But I figured I'd show you guys and my friend this place, since not a lot of people know about it. This area has 3 lakes: the bottom lake, the middle lake, and the top lake. So right now we're going to head to the top lake, since that's where I've caught most of the fish here. For the most part, the fish in these lakes are either rainbow trout, sometimes channel catfish, or panfish like crappie and bluegill. I've also caught crawfish out of here whenever I was jigging for trout. So any lures that resemble a crawfish on the bottom, or copper spoons, or just a piece of power bait with a sliding weight on the bottom should work out here. The lakes are anywhere between 10 and 15 feet deep, with some areas potentially reaching 20 feet deep. They're also naturally occurring. Nestled in Colorado Springs, the lakes offer a serene escape from the hustle and bustle of daily life. These 3 small, naturally occurring lakes, commonly referred to as Lake 1, 2, and 3, serve as both a recreational haven and a testament to the area's rich history. If you've ever wandered around this area, you've probably noticed more than just peaceful water and quiet trails. If you've been lucky or patient, you might have caught a glimpse of some of the area's most fascinating residents: the beavers. That's right, the lakes aren't just a pretty spot for hiking and fishing, it's also home to a surprisingly active beaver population that's been shaping the landscape in their own unique way. At first glance, the area doesn't scream beaver habitat, but once you start noticing gnawed tree trunks and a few telltale dams slowing the flow of streams into the lakes, it becomes pretty obvious. Beavers are master builders, and the terrain around Kettle Lakes is ideal for them, with a mix of slow moving water, forested banks, and minimal human interference. Since it's on Academy property, it's a perfect little beaver neighborhood. These creatures are mostly nocturnal, which means you might not see them during the day, but their presence is hard to miss. Tree stumps with sharp conical cuts, that's a beaver's calling card. Small lodges made of sticks and mud poking out of the water, that's home sweet home for these furry engineers. Beavers don't just build dams because they think it's fun, though they do seem to enjoy it. They do it to survive. By building dams, they create deep pools that don't freeze all the way through in the winter, which gives them a safe place to ride out the cold months. Their lodges are basically beaver fortresses with underwater entrances and cozy interiors made of twigs and grasses. What's really cool is how beavers unintentionally support the environment around them. Their dams slow down water flow, which helps prevent erosion and keeps more water in the ground. That's a big deal in a place like Colorado where water can be scarce. Their ponds also become habitats for other wildlife like frogs, ducks, and even deer who stop by for a drink. Despite the name, the lakes aren't known for their crappie fishing. In fact, crappie aren't even on the list of species found here. The primary catch includes rainbow trout, channel catfish, and the occasional largemouth bass, so if you're targeting crappie, you might want to look elsewhere. If you're looking for a fun and easy way to catch crappie, using spinners might just be your new favorite trick. Crappie are one of the most popular panfish out there. They're tasty, they fight just enough to make it interesting, and they tend to hang out in groups, so when you catch one, there's a good chance more are nearby. While there are plenty of ways to catch crappie, throwing a spinner is one of the simplest and most effective methods. Fishing in full sunlight can be a bit of a mixed bag. The fish aren't always super active during the peak of the day, Sometimes they dive deeper into the water where it's cooler and darker, making them harder to catch, but that's part of the fun, right? It's like a challenge. Can you outsmart the fish even when the odds aren't fully in your favor? Some people get discouraged by that, but I think just part of the rhythm of the day, you learn to enjoy the waiting. It's a slower pace, one that lets your mind wander. Sometimes I use that quiet time to think about life, listen to birds, or just close my eyes and feel the breeze. Fishing for trout in hot weather is like trying to find your phone when it's on silent. It's frustrating, kind of tricky, but possible if you know where to look. When the summer sun is blazing and the air feels thick enough to swim through, trout fishing becomes less about tossing a line and more about outsmarting the fish that just wants to chill in the shade. Still, there's something about the challenge that keeps me coming back even when the sweat's dripping and the fish are hiding. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the deepest part of these lakes is only about 20 feet deep, so the trout don't really have anywhere to go. First off, let's get one thing straight. Trout are not fans of the heat. These fish like their water cool, oxygen rich, and comfortable, which is the exact opposite of what you get in the middle of a hot June afternoon. So when the sun's high and the water's warming up, the trout head for deeper, colder pockets or hang out in the shadows under overhanging trees, submerged logs, or rocks. If you're just tossing bait into the shallow, sunny spots, you're probably wasting your time and energy. That's where the real fun begins. Hot weather trout fishing is all about reading the water. You've got to become a bit of a trout detective. Look for places where cold water might be flowing in, like small creeks or springs. If you find cooler water enters a river or lake, you've basically found the trout's version of air conditioning. That's where they're likely to be. Also, early mornings and late evenings are your best friends, not just because the temperatures are cooler, but also because trout get a little more active then. I've had mornings where I barely had time to sip my coffee between casts because the bites kept coming. By mid-afternoon, though, it's usually time to stop pretending and either take a nap in the shade or jump in the water yourself, assuming the fish don't mind you sharing. Gear matters too. When the water's warm, trout get picky. You've got to downsize your line, keep your presentation subtle, and sometimes switch to lighter flies or smaller lures. I've had the best luck using nymphs or dry flies in the early hours and then switching to deeper running lures or bait like worms when the sun starts heating things up. And if you're fly fishing, forget the heavy splashes, go for soft, quiet casts like you're sneaking up on a sleeping cat. For catching crappie in the middle of summer, the trick is knowing where they hide, too. Crappie aren't big fans of the summer sun either. When that water heats up, they head for deeper structure, think brush piles, underwater timber, ledges, and drop offs. Basically, they're looking for a shady underwater hangout, and if you find one, odds are there's a whole crowd of them chilling there like it's happy hour. If I'm fishing with jigs, I'll go with something small and natural colored in clear water. Maybe a white or a chartreuse if the water's a bit stained. A slow presentation is key. Crappie aren't always aggressive in the heat, so you've got to tempt them, not spook them. Sometimes I just let the jig hover in their face like, hey, you want to bite this or not? And when you feel that little thump, man, there's nothing like it. Live baits work great too, minnows especially. Around midday, things slow down, the sun's right overhead, and the sweat's running down your back, and even the crappies seem to be taking a nap. That's usually when I'll take a break myself. And the late afternoon is the golden zone. As the sun starts to drop and the shadows stretch out, the fish get active again. Sometimes they'll move up a bit shallower, especially near docks or shaded shorelines. I've had some awesome luck tossing jigs under docks just before sunset. So all day today, I've just been using this gold panther martin.